Hey, welcome back. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is the Unexplained Archive. You know, living in New York, you get used to strange objects. A forgotten umbrella on the subway, a single shoe on a fire escape, a piece of modern art that makes you tilt your head and wonder. But what if you found an object in your own home that defied every law of physics you knew? An object that seemed alive? That's exactly what happened to one family in Florida in the spring of 1974. And the mystery of that object, a polished metal sphere no bigger than a bowling ball, would spiral into a national obsession, drawing in the Navy, NASA, and whispers of something truly otherworldly. So let's set the scene. It's March of 1974 on a sprawling, wooded property in Fort George Island, Florida. The Betz family, mother, father, and their 21-year-old son Terry, are surveying the damage from a recent fire that tore through part of their land. As Terry is walking through the charred underbrush, something catches his eye. A perfectly smooth, stainless steel sphere resting in the ashes. It's about 8 inches in diameter, weighs a solid 21 pounds, and has a strange, elongated triangle etched on its surface. No seams, no bolts, no markings beyond that one symbol. They figure it's maybe a piece of military hardware, a souvenir from the nearby Naval Air Station, or even a relic from a satellite. Curious, they take it back to their Spanish-style home and plop it down on the living room floor. And for 2 weeks, nothing. It just sat there, an interesting conversation piece. Then, one day, Terry is strumming his guitar in the same room, and the sphere reacts. It emits a low, throbbing hum, a resonant sound that seemed to respond to the chords he was playing. Then, it started to move, not rolling randomly, but seemingly with purpose. It would change direction on its own, navigating the patterned floor as if avoiding the sunlight coming through the windows. It would roll to a stop, then start up again. When they tried to push it one way, it would sometimes resist or even roll back towards them, as if pushed by an invisible hand. They claimed it could climb a slight incline on its own, and that it would sometimes vibrate violently, like a washing machine off balance, before settling. The family dog, they said, would whimper and hide when it was active. Now, this is the point where skepticism is not just healthy, it's required. A self-rolling ball, in a house full of uneven floorboards, subtle vibrations from traffic, all sorts of perfectly natural explanations. And many were offered, but the Betzes were adamant. They documented its behavior. They called in reporters from the Jacksonville Journal, who witnessed the sphere's movements and published a story that lit the fuse. Then Ripley's Believe It or Not picked it up. And just like that, the Betz Sphere was a national phenomenon. The sphere's journey from family curiosity to national mystery is where the plot thickens. The Navy, who initially denied it was theirs, came to examine it. Scientists from NASA and various universities got involved. Reports surfaced that under X-rays, the sphere appeared to have 2 smaller spheres inside it, and what seemed like a dense, lead-like core. Some said it emitted a radio frequency. The theories exploded. Was it an alien probe? A piece of a Soviet spy satellite with gyroscopic guidance gone haywire? A forgotten piece of advanced technology from a secret project? But here's a crucial twist, one that often gets lost in the more sensational tellings. When the sphere was taken for extensive testing at the Naval Air Station, the initial reports were underwhelming. Engineers placed it on a metal table. It didn't move on its own. They noted it was perfectly balanced, yes, but its behavior could be explained by the construction of the Betz home itself. The house was old, with uneven, sagging floors. A perfectly balanced sphere on a slanted surface will, of course, roll. It can appear to change direction when it hits a different slope or a floorboard seam. The vibration could be a resonance effect. In a controlled lab environment, the magic seemed to fade. So case closed? A mundane object misperceived in a chaotic, emotionally charged environment? Not quite, because the sphere had one more card to play. After it was returned to the family, the strange activity reportedly started again. This back and forth, the sensational eyewitness accounts versus the dry, inconclusive lab reports, is the heart of the mystery. It's the space where our imagination lives. We want the lab tests to have found something inexplicable. The fact that they didn't, for some, only deepens the conspiracy. Were they covering something up? Or was the truth simply less exciting? This story resonates with me, personally, as an engineer. We're trained to seek the clean, logical answer. The unbalanced floor, the confirmation bias, the power of suggestion, these are all powerful, rational forces. The human mind is a pattern recognition machine, and sometimes it finds patterns where none exist, especially when we're primed for mystery. But I'm also a storyteller, and what fascinates me is not necessarily whether the sphere was extraterrestrial, but why this particular story captured the nation at that precise moment. This was 1974. The Watergate scandal was eroding trust in institutions. The space race had opened our minds to the cosmos, but also left us with a sense of technological awe and anxiety. The Betz Sphere became a blank screen onto which we projected our fears about government secrecy, our hopes for cosmic contact, and our innate love for a good, old-fashioned mystery right here on Earth. The sphere eventually left the public eye. It was sold, examined by private investigators, and reportedly lost to time. Its final whereabouts are unknown. So what are we left with? A fascinating case study in human perception. A reminder that sometimes the most compelling mysteries aren't about what the object is, but about what we need it to be. The Betz family experienced something they couldn't explain, and their sincere belief triggered a media frenzy that, in turn, shaped their own experience. It's a feedback loop of mystery. In the end, the Betz Sphere is a perfect artifact for our archive. It's a physical object that remains stubbornly unexplained in its totality, not because it defies all physics, but because its story exists in that hazy borderland between fact and folklore, between a measurable phenomenon and a deeply felt human experience. It reminds us that mystery doesn't always live in distant galaxies or ancient ruins. Sometimes, it rolls into your living room on a quiet afternoon and changes everything you think you know about the world immediately around you. Thanks for joining me for this journey into the unexplained. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi. If you enjoyed this story, please share it with someone who loves a good mystery. And for more deep dives into the world's strangest tales, follow the show and visit our home at Light Not Studios. https://www.lightnotstudios.com. Until next time, keep wondering.